Day Pioneers is Bonnie and Larry LeBaron. I'd like to give present with this little flag. Sorry, fingerprints here all over it. So we're going to turn the time over to the LeBaron family to roast these people a little bit. So we're going to get a couple of chairs and set them up there. I'm going to turn the time over to Mark, and I don't know who else is going to speak. I think the kids are going to sing. They've got a song ready.
So I want to thank Timothy here, my little big brother, for putting a slideshow together. Merlin told me, you guys hear me okay? Yep. Merlin told me this was a chance to eulogize my parents while they're still alive. So it's really really fun. I had fun reminiscing about my life as a child with Bonnie and Larry, and there's no way to sum it all up. So I wrote a report to keep me on track. So I'm going to do a lot of reading, and it's going to be hard for me because I know I'm going to get emotional. It's a privilege to stand before you today and share a tribute to two people who mean the world to me, my parents, Larry and Bonnie LeBaron. To speak about them is to speak of faith, of family, of fortitude, and a kind of pioneering spirit that we too rarely see in our world today. I'm their second son, Arthur, otherwise known as Artie, one of 9 children, and I can say without hesitation that our parents have given us a legacy more rich and more meaningful than words can ever fully express. To describe them as modern-day pioneers is not just a metaphor. It's truth as real as the red dirt of Dixie. We often hear about the pioneers of old, those who crossed the plains and mountains in hand carts, driven by hope and faith in a better tomorrow. But in every generation, there are those who walk their own long roads with the same courage, the same sacrifice, and the same unwavering devotion to what matters most. Larry and Bonnie LeBaron are such pioneers. They may not have crossed the plains in wagons, but they built a life that is nothing short of legendary. Together, they raised 9 children, 8 sons and 1 daughter. That alone is a miracle in its own right. But raising 9 children is only the beginning of this remarkable story. Both Mom and Dad joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as teenagers. Many of you might not know that. Each forging their own path to the gospel. Their testimonies were personal, hard-earned, and lasting. I wish we had time to go into those stories, but you'll have to come and visit and hear them yourself from Mom and Dad, and I encourage you to do that if you haven't already. And in a script only heaven could write, their friendship and faith blossomed into love when they were cast as the leading roles in the musical Promised Valley, a story fittingly about pioneers, faith, and finding hope. They've been writing their own Promised Valley ever since. Together they raised a family of 9, 8 energetic, work-hardened boys, and 1 bright, cherished daughter, Laura, the youngest. Hurricane was so excited when she was born that somebody put it on the high school marquee. The LeBarons had a girl. It was headline worthy, no doubt about it. Every one of us earned the rank of Eagle Scout 8 times over, and all 9 children served full-time LDS missions. And my parents traveled to every single one of those missions. to pick up their children and tour and meet special people. That didn't happen by accident. It happened because the gospel was the heartbeat of our home. Sunday, family council and instruction, Monday night, family home evening, and early morning scripture study weren't just routines. They were sacred anchors that shaped who we are. Saturdays meant chores, housework, yard work, home food production, but they also meant family, discipline, and purpose. We had a milk cow, and every single one of us had plenty of time on the milking stool, including Laura. She was not accepted from milking duties. We had chickens, ducks, geese, rabbits, you name it, and we had manure, and plenty of it. Hauling manure from the barnyard to the garden wasn't just a job, it was practically a rite of passage. We have a huge garden and a beautiful orchard thanks to Dad's green thumb. He planted peaches, apricots, cherries, nectarines, apples, pomegranates, persimmons, and several kinds of nut trees, almonds, pecans, hazelnuts, and even a walnut tree. If it could grow in southern Utah, it was probably growing in our yard at one point or another. We honored the past and we honored our country. Every 4th of July, we attended the flag raising ceremony and we were taught to stand tall, hand over heart, with respect. Dad even planted a flagpole in our front yard and taught us how to raise and lower the flag properly. Patriotism wasn't taught from a textbook, it was modeled every single day. And then there were the adventures, the wood-cutting deer hunts. We learned how to be successful during the deer hunt, and that's bringing wood home. Where no deer were harmed, but many logs were harvested. One time, while gathering wood out on East Zion, we stumbled on a fresh gut pile. Most people would walk away. Not Dad. He fished through that gut pile, and he cooked up the heart and liver on a fire right then and there next to the chainsaw. That's the kind of man he is, resourceful, fearless, and a little wild, in the best possible way. And when my younger brother Timothy was born at home, yes, at home, without a hospital, Dad didn't miss a beat. He came out of the bedroom, saw us older boys huddled at the top of the stairs, and promptly sent us outside to unload a truckload of firewood at 4 a.m. Because you know, babies being born and firewood delivery wait for no man. You remember that? Well, we were hearing noises that we had never heard before, and Dad saw us at the top of the stairs, and he's like, we got to get these kids out of here. We didn't just live in Hurricane. We lived off the land, and still do. That was made possible by the Hurricane Canal, a true marvel of pioneer grit. But our parents made sure we never took it for granted. They taught us the stories of the men and women who dug that canal through sheer determination. They took us to historic sites like our ancestral graves, Jacob Hamlin Home, the Brigham Young Home, Silver Reef, Grafton, This Is the Place Monument, on all the temple grounds, just to name a few of the places we would visit and learn about. These weren't just sightseeing trips, they were sacred pilgrimages. To honor those who made our lives possible. And I'll never forget the nights when my dad would be out of town and we'd have a water turn. So I would take the water. And of course, water turns usually come in the dead of night when the world is still and quiet. I slipped on my chore boots, grabbed a shovel, and picked a nice ripe juicy peach from one of our trees. With a peach in one hand and a shovel in the other, I walked the ditches under a blanket of stars. The only sound was the trickle of water flowing across the thirsty land. And in that quiet solitude, I found myself thinking about those early canal builders, the pioneers who bled and sweated to make this irrigation possible. Because of them, we could grow squash, corn, tomatoes, turnips, carrots, beets, and even sugar cane. And hopefully in September, you guys can come over to our house and chew some sugar cane on the back porch with us. Because of them, the desert truly does blossom as a rose. In those moments, I feel deeply connected to the land, to my heritage that my parents gave me, and to the people, all the people that made it all possible. Dad always made sure we never missed an assignment. Early mornings at the State Farm, picking up limbs, thinning apricots, and sometimes dodging an apricot or two from, you guessed it, Joe Ipson. Where the heck is he? Some of you all have had an apricot pegged in the back of the head by Joe Ipson's hand. Anyways, and picking peaches. It wasn't optional. It was what we did, and we learned to love it. Some years, Dad would buy us a day-old calf to raise and sell for our mission funds. We'd run them with Roland Hall's herd up on Little Creek in exchange for helping on Roundup Day. That gave us the rare privilege of doing real cowboy work with some of Hurricane's finest, men like Roland and Alvin Hall and all their buddies. We learned how to ride and herd and brand, castrate, dehorn, and embrace the sights, sounds, and smells of real cowboying, working from sunup to sundown. It was tough, and it was glorious. One of the many remarkable things about our parents is that amidst all the work and sacrifice, they made sure we were well-traveled. Family vacations weren't just for fun, they were educational, spiritual, and bonding. We visited national parks, Disneyland, and even made trips to Canada and Mexico. We drove to Oregon regularly, a caravan of station wagons, to see our cousins and our paternal grandmother, stopping at every historic site Mom and Dad could find along the way. Those road trips were long, packed, and loud, but they're some of our most cherished memories. And speaking of pioneers, my dad is one in his own right. Against all odds, he served an LDS mission in Central America. His grandmother strongly opposed it and even tried to convince church leadership that he shouldn't go. But after multiple interviews with Apostle Mark E. Peterson, Dad was given the green light. He served a full 30-month mission in Central America and invented Spanish while he was there. He's never let go of it. Years later, he would serve with my mom as the branch president of the Spanish branch in Hurricane for 9 years. That's what a pioneer does. They make a way where there seems to be none. Mom has her own legacy of faith and influence. She taught all of us to play the piano, and half the town, too. She still teaches to this day. Our home rang with music, hymns, and holiday songs around the piano. Mom and Dad's duets, like Love Is My Song and Oh Holy Night, are family treasures. Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without gathering around the piano, singing together while Mom plays. Music is part of our DNA. And it seems hypocritical that we actually don't have a song prepared for you tonight. But at least my parents my mom played the pianos for us, and my dad led, so there you go. That's how Merlin made sure they were going to be here. Music is part of our DNA, and now that legacy carries on through our children. Our family talent shows are so packed with performances, we have to schedule an intermission. I recall one Mother's Day as a child, my mom made us all new Sunday suits, and we learned a song that we all stood proudly and sang in sacrament meeting, Mother of Mine. Remember that? And speaking of pioneers, every Pioneer Day, the town would look. Where's Larry and Bonnie? Because it was Pioneer Day parade, right? Well, they would look for Mom and Dad in full pioneer garb. Dad leading a cow, and one of the brothers a calf. Mom by Dad's side, followed by a gaggle of kids pulling or riding in a handcart, all celebrating the heritage they worked so hard to preserve. But they didn't just dress the part, they lived it. To say thank you to parents like ours, feels inadequate. There's no way to do them justice. How do you thank the people who gave you everything that really matters? Family, faith, patriotism, work, service. If you want to know what a modern day pioneer looks like, you don't need to look far. Just look at Larry and Bonnie LeBaron. Their legacy stretches beyond time and place because it's written on the hearts of their children, their grandchildren, and generations to come. To Larry and Bonnie, thank you. Thank you for choosing faith over fear. Thank you for giving everything to your family. Thank you for showing us what it means to follow Jesus Christ. May your example inspire all of us to live better, love deeper, and believe more fiercely in the goodness of God and the strength of family. Mom and Dad, we honor you today. You are the embodiment of modern day pioneers. You didn't just raise a family, you raised a generation of believers, builders, and doers. Today we rise up and call you blessed.
Arthur, I hope you can get over that cold soon.
Yeah.
I don't know if the LeBarons want to say anything to finish up. Want to say anything?
Everybody in this room deserves to have this honor. I guess it's just our turn, but I'm speechless. Thank you.
I also echo her words. Ruth, we're a product of our community. We love each one of you and the effect that you've had on our lives. Thank you so much.
I'd just like to say I had the opportunity to just live around the corner from them, so I grew up with all the LeBaron boys, and I was excited when Laura came along too.
Just so that you know, Larry LeBaron was a charter member of the Hurricane Valley Sons of the Utah Pioneers.
He's been a member since 1988, I believe. 1988. So Larry and Bonnie are a true embodiment of the modern day pioneers. I've known Larry and Bonnie most all of my life. Larry's a master craftsman, and Bonnie is just phenomenal with the music, and they have produced a wonderful family, and many, many kids here in this valley have benefited from being around their family. So let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you very much. Real quick, next month we're going to have, that's my phone going off over there. Sorry about that. Next month we're going to have the 4th grade essay contest winner. And then the month after that, in June, we're going to have the high school scholarship award. And in addition to the 4th grade essay next month, we also have Jim Rhodes coming to talk to us about the Rhodes Mine. And with that, we'll go ahead and close. We've asked Paula if she will go ahead, Dan.
Can you let them know who they paid for the lunch for the trek?
Who is that?
Who they paid?
Are they going to bring the money with them, Dave? Bring the money with you for the lunch, please. The trek, okay? Thank you. Paula, we'll go ahead and turn the time to you.
Our Father in heaven, as we come before thee at the close of this program tonight, what a special program. We are grateful for the program of the Sons of Utah Pioneers. We are grateful for Larry and Bonnie and all the men who belong to the Sons of Utah Pioneers and the women who know them. We ask you at this time to take us, each of us home in peace and safety, that no harm, accident, or evil will happen. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Glad that little girl got to see.